disrespect to Sheffield United, but I think if you got this club into the Premiership, it would just, it would be the biggest club in Sheffield.
If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike.
Hello and welcome to Next Up here on the Shoreham View. My name is Johnny, and as you can tell, I'm wearing something a bit different. Something I don't usually wear. That's right, I'm wearing my Santa Burger Christmas jumper. Where can you get this absolute must-have for this Christmas season? Of course you can get it from the COVID Christmas shop, along with a lot of other great designs. I'll put the link on the screen as well as some of their other designs. That's COVID Christmas shop or COVID Xmas shop on Twitter. If you're new to the channel, or even if you're not and you're a regular but you haven't done already, please hit the subscribe button. We really want to push on and build this channel. We really want to get to 10,000. It's a long, arduous journey to that magical number, but I believe with your help we can manage that here. Also, check out our social media. All the links are above me. They will keep you up to date with everything we're doing and everything that's coming up. Okay, let's get started. Last time in the league. So once again, we welcome Ben to the show. As always, great to have him on board. Even if we're not talking about too fucking great. Chelsea game. I'm still depressed if I'm honest. International break didn't help, but Chelsea game, mate. Sum it up as quick as you can, mate, so we can move on to something more positive.
The most depressed I have been watching a Chris Wilder side since the last 15 minutes away at Villa Park in the 18-19 season when we threw away a 3-0 lead.
Yeah.
I think this is the most depressed I felt watching. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I suppose there was some bad games in the last season, but we knew we'd got it in the bag and we had nothing to lose. I suppose Man U away was quite depressing, but last season. But no, this was particular. I think, I remember last week we were talking about, it might be a Liverpool game where we turn up and we might lose, but we might have some fight and some passion, some spirit, and some endeavour even,
Oh, we can't have an endeavour. We can't say endeavour. Get thesaurus out. Find something else.
Some innovation, some ingenuity, some passion, some fight, some spirit, some positivity, some creativity, and we might lose. Or it might be a Man City game where there's none of that. And it started out like the Liverpool game, thinking, getting down that right flank, ball locks popping up, creating problems. Scored a great goal.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of a started out with a bit of luck, but then a bit of ingenuity and creativity from Goldrick turned a fluffed shot into a bit of brilliance and a brilliant finish. And I'm thinking, bloody hell. But I was also thinking, this is too early. Like the Liverpool goal, it's too early. We need it in the 78th minute. You know what I mean?
Well, the first few minutes,
any earlier.
The first few minutes when we scored that goal, to me, it reminded me when we tonked them at Lane. Do you remember last season when they came to Bramall Lane after restart, and we just battered him?
Yeah.
And then when the goal went in, did they think? To me, it was like, job done, sit back, and it just went to shit from there, really.
Yeah, I just remember what the first goal. I mean, after. I think we were 2-1 down at half time. As soon as Chelsea scored the equaliser, I thought that's it. I'm amazed we've got a goal in us, let alone two. I knew we'd lost as soon as they'd equalised.
Yeah.
The second goal was even worse to concede. Ramsdale's got to come out and clatter him. To give away a pen going down like a hero, clattering someone. But also Max Lowe, I don't know what he's doing there. That was to me sort of stopped.
Yeah, that bugged me because I was singing Max Lowe's praises, and maybe it was a bit premature of me to do that because I thought he could offer us something. But as somebody pointed out, one good cross against Burnley, a good left back does not make. And he said, to me, he looked naive at times. Not a bad player, but naive. And a game like that wasn't one to really learn his trade, were it? That were a game where we could have done with some solid, experienced players in that position.
I mean, a few bits I can remember just seemed to look a bit out of his depth. I just remember seeing him getting the ball, looking for, like most of the team, getting the ball, looking forward, nothing on, or nothing that they can find, and just passing it sideways or backwards and just waiting for Chelsea to inevitably get possession back.
Team full of lunch.
But yeah, it's like that second goal. I remember watching it back in slow motion, and I think you actually see Chilwell hesitate when he's expecting Ramsdale to come out and clatter, get the ball. Like he sort of like shuts his eyes a bit and flinches, and it just hits his thigh by chance. And I mean, the commentator saying, "No, I don't even think he knew what was happening." Like it just hit him. And I was really annoyed because I remember really early on in the game, Ramsdale pulling off quite a good save, like it's smacking his thigh, just getting himself down there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, we could have easily conceded there. Then there was that one where he sort of pawed it. See, I think one of the things Ramsdale doesn't help himself with is he can get to the ball, but he sort of paws it away into danger. He never seems to.
That to me,
catch it.
It's so reminiscent. It's so reminiscent of George Long. It's funny you said that because that's what George Long used to do. And that was his biggest weakness. And to me, there's scarily a lot of similarities between the two keepers. Is it because they came up together or what? I don't know. But that's something he 100% needs to work on. Is that rubber wrist syndrome?
Yeah, it's like I mean, we could have been one. I think it was at 0-0, and I think it was Timo Werner sort of smacked it into the underside of the crossbar. Chelsea had like a cross/shot in, pawed it away to Werner, and he sort of like I think it might have been VAR. I could be wrong with that. But either way, pawed it to them. They were sort of at tight angle, and they sort of like hammered it into the underside of the crossbar, and we were lucky to get away without scoring that. And it's just, there's been a few other instances this season where it's just thinking, if you can't catch it, just paw it either behind for a corner or just to another Sheffield player, not to them, because you may as well throw it in your own net for all that as much good as that does.
Just get rid of the fucking ball. That's fucking the best way to think of it. Right, so moving on, we're going to go to Roy and get his view for the West Ham game, as well as his quick reaction for the Chelsea game.
Another disappointing display and another disappointing result against Chelsea. I said before that out of the three hard games against Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea were the one that I thought we might have had a better chance of getting something, and I was completely wrong because we were shit, unfortunately. I found that when I'm watching United at the moment, I'm doing some sort of weird performance with my arms. Like all I do all the matches is go. It's like doing a workout. I can't move my arms after. But yeah, everyone will say like those three are out of the way now. Liverpool, City, Chelsea. 3 games we didn't expect to get anything, and lo and behold, we didn't get anything. So moving on to West Ham, it's a massive game, obviously, and their fans are not actually so far as not as confident as I'd be if I were them. Anyway, after watching us in the last couple of games, but one of them says here, I have concerns about this one. While Sheffield United are indeed bottom, they've only had one big loss against Chelsea and have been competitive, only losing by a single goal against Liverpool, Man City and a much improved Villa. Another one said, I think this one is going to be a more difficult game than some think. We've done well so far this season playing against a certain team, but we got bogged down against the likes of Fulham. And another one said, Sheffield United are not won all season. We all know what West Ham will do. And then obviously, the funniest quote of all time, some guy has put, can we please bring Tevez back for this one? Dickhead.
Of course, next up we've got West Ham at Bramall Lane. Let's take a closer look at the Hammers. West Ham, it's one of them games where I think we'd have benefited massively from the fans, because this kind of game's always fucking electric. It's always a feisty atmosphere. I reckon it'd have been moved to a night game midweek, possibly under lights, if fans would have been allowed there. Yeah. Their form's inconsistent, but I would say it's a strong start with who they've beaten, if I'm honest. They've not had a poor start by any means of imagination. They've had a good start in my book.
I think like they started. It's been a good start, and I think like actually the last few games haven't been as good as the first few. I think they started even better than they are at the minute. It's still been a good start. Obviously I saw it live. The Lanzini goal against Tottenham was like absolutely incredible. Obviously I'm no stretch of the imagination a West Ham fan, but that was amazing when that went in. That was a brilliant moment. But like
one of them where you wish it were a different team, so you weren't impressed by it.
See, I've never I was never like an avid Sheffield fan when the Tevez thing happened, so I've never had that burning hatred at this. Like, I don't like West Ham, but I haven't got the same burning hatred for West Ham that most of the Blades do. Like, I've seen like Blades like comparing like OJ more Wednesday or West Ham. It's like, West Ham aren't even in that conversation for me. Like,
for me neither. It's just, not for me either.
Yeah. I just sort of like laughing at the West Ham fan that had a Tevez flag when I was at the London Stadium. A year ago now.
I think they're the ones keeping. They're the ones keeping the rivalry alive, not us. I mean, we've got instances of why I dislike West Ham, and it's mainly due to their fans. It's not so much to do with the Tevez thing anymore. It's not so much to do with the club as itself. It's not West Ham anymore, is it? Let's be fair. It's not the Upton Park, apples and pears, fucking all that kind of shit. It's a franchise now, and it's the fans.
It's a real thing. I think like I never never lucky enough to go to Upton Park, and it looked like an amazing ground to go to as an away fan as well.
Yeah.
Like the London Stadium, it's brilliant for athletics, but it's not a football stadium. Like any noise or sound or atmosphere just eviscerates immediately.
The atmosphere at the London Stadium disappears quicker than our left-hand side when we're defending. That's how bad it were there. So looking at West Ham, their players at the moment, obviously one key player we've got to look at. There's two, Declan Rice, may not be doing it for England, but for them I think he's doing it well. Cresswell's playing out of skin. But it had to be that ex-pig, didn't it, who was scoring all their goals, Antonio. So he's guaranteed to bag.
He's annoying because he's like, I can't dislike him. He's like, whenever I see him speak, he's like a really likeable guy. Like, he's ex-Wednesday, he's at West Ham now, so he should be like the Antichrist around our parts. But whenever I see him, like I remember like first seeing him playing like Match of the Day and going, that can't be the same guy they had at Wednesday, because he was just so good. Like they had him at Wednesday, like did they have him in League One as well? Like, I know in the Championship as well, but like
I wouldn't like to speculate, but I don't think they did have him in League One. I think they got him the season they went home.
But it's just like he's always like played well at West Ham, but like this season and also last season as well, he's really, really quite brilliant for them at the minute. Brilliant strike. He's everything about him. He's got a great finish on him. Nice pace, good footwork. So I can't wait to see us try and defend against him. And Jared Bowen as well, who's also quick.
He is.
Good finish on him as well. So
I reckon
it's not going to be good.
Bowen he'll be sat in. I'm trying to pick a player now. I'm going to say he's going to be sat in Egan's pocket, but we don't know if he's going to be fucking playing. Speaking of which, we'll look at the lineups now. I'm going to presume for my lineup that Fleck's available and that Egan's available. My lineup will go on screen. My lineup will go on screen now. Obviously, Fleck in for Osborne. Stevens on the left with Ampadu playing that left centre half position. To me, don't reinvent the wheel at this stage. We've had some tough games. Come out fighting against West Ham. Keep the formation. Try and get players' confidence back online. I'm going to start with Brewster and Burke up front. I haven't seen that properly yet, and that's what I want to see. I know a lot of people saying Brewster's not offered anything this time. Look what we've played, to be honest with you. He should have started against Fulham, I think. That would have been the perfect confidence boost.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been useful, of all the teams, because that day, like I said, he needs some service to him. He needs the ball played to his feet. Ideally, even played beyond him, perhaps, if he can outpace the defender. I suppose with my lineup, I'm assuming that Fleck isn't available. If he is, obviously, I'd have thrown him in. I think I'd throw him in instead of Osborne. I've played.
Yeah.
I've put Stevens. I've played Jack Robinson at left centre back, as I've thrown Ampadu into the CDM position-ish. And my inverted three. I don't know what it's called, man, but you know what I mean, the CDM.
Yeah. Holding midfielder role.
And then, so I just thought, Christ, who else have we got to play at centre back? And I thought, I want Stevens on the left because I think we need something where, you know, like with Lowe, we had nothing going down that left whatsoever. And yeah, Stevens isn't what he was, but I don't know. I'm trying to remember how well he played against Chelsea. I can't quite remember. I remember him getting clattered a bit at one point, and
it weren't his best game, was it? But centre half's not his role at all. He's an attacking fullback. He's a wing back. He's not a centre half by any kind of signal or intention that he shows. He's not a defending player in my book. He's a more of a defensive winger than even a wing back.
Yeah, he's probably like just a left mid at the end of the day.
Yeah. Interestingly, you've gone for McGoldrick up front, and you've played him not dead up front. You've gone for Burke playing an advanced forward role, and McGoldrick sitting behind. Now, are you imagining like a diamond in midfield, or just sort of sitting behind Burke?
I suppose just sitting behind a bit, just someone for like, you know, like midfield are like really struggling to like make, mount an attack and make headway.
Yeah.
So someone for like, rather than for them to try and, because the passing's absolutely abysmal at the minute. So if someone's there to sort of bridge the gap slightly and reduce the distance from midfield to attack, someone like McGoldrick, where just play a short pass into him and he can turn, he can hold it up. A few flicks on, he can win some stuff in the air.
In the hair? He ain't got any hair.
For someone to just like win it, just someone like that, I say that just to bridge that gap between the out and out striker of Burke and midfield, to flick on to someone like Burke who can just it just allows Burke to utilise his pace, whether it's in front of him running onto it or at his feet, because he's also he's good with it. He's still quick with it, the ball at his feet. Got good footwork as well. He managed to create a few inroads at Anfield away. So I've gone with McGoldrick. Yeah, like you said, we haven't properly seen Brewster and Burke yet, but I feel like Brewster and Burke, they're two strikers that at the minute still need someone to play onto them too.
You see, to me, Burke's a player that could link up Brewster quite well. You look at the run he made against Villa when he won the penalty. You look at the run that he made before David Luiz keeled his shirt back and should have been sent off. The runs he makes, I think, are quite good. And the problem was, obviously, he played in a great ball at Villa, and that led to a penalty. To me, that ball he played in after that amazing run could have landed at the feet of a player like Brewster, who could use his pace to beat that defender to the ball.
Yeah.
Am I suggesting that that's going to be the same for every game? No, but it gives you an option that's different to what we've been used to. Because at the moment, we're not crossing enough. And if we're not going to cross, we need to find another avenue to get a goal. And to me, that's a glaring option that's there and available for us. Before we move on, other than the left side being quite weak, how are we going to win this game? What have we got to show that's different to how we've been playing?
I mean, I'm not proud to say it, but I think we've got to make it quite an ugly and gritty affair. I know you think that against sides like Man City, but I think we've just got to. I don't think we can win by playing good, attractive, fluid football as we have done in the past and as we did last season. We haven't got it in us to play nice, fluid, attacking, flowing football as we did in the past. If we try and do that and it pulls off, I would love to see that. But talk about jumping steps. That would, that's taking us from like step 3 to step 9 straight away. From a 3 out of 10 to if we can jump the gap from being 3 out of 10 to 9 out of 10, or even a 7, then by all means. But I think we've got to just go and be an unattractive, might be quite boring, not pretty to watch 5 out of 10. And if that only gets us a point, then that's doubling our point tally. Get into the back of the court.
Get into him!
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, to me, I think you've hit nail on the head with that one. We are missing key players that do give us that option to play that attractive, fluid football. Run of fixtures haven't helped. The fans giving players confidence hasn't helped. The fans not being there giving players confidence does not help.
Players getting vocal about that as well.
I know, it's strange, isn't it? Because you'd think if we were in the ground it'd be worse, but it seems it's worse with us not being in the ground. But
I tell you what, I've just been thinking, it's just dawned on me that at the minute we'd actually be worse with fans in. Like at the start, we needed them there, but now it's gone to shit. Fans being in is almost the last thing we need at the minute. It's just dawned on me now that you've said, because it's that bad. Everyone's going, "Oh, we're fucking shit," you know what I mean? And then fans would be arguing with each other, and that's just what it was in the Adkins days. You know what I mean? Fans arguing. Some prick could shout Wilder out, and then it'd just all kick off.
There'd be the first lynching at a Premier League game. The first time that fucking happened.
Oh. So yeah, but actually now thinking about it, fans in the stadium is the last thing we need. Because we're a fickle bunch, really. You know.
Of course we are. I'm the most fickle twat ever imaginable. You know what I mean? I don't like him, but if Lunny scores a fucking hat-trick, if Lunny plays and scores an hat-trick against West Ham, I'll be singing his fucking name down that lens. Honestly, I'm the most fickle bastard in the world. So I agree. To me, United's got to go into this game. We've got to find some kind of fucking way to break them down and get... We can't just score one. We need to score 2 goals, get confidence flowing, and get 3 points. Anything other than that, and it's going to be a long end to 2020. Not that it's fucking going by any quicker at the moment. Right.
No.
Before we go, score prediction.
I'm going to be optimistic, but a bit of realism, and say 1-1.
2-0 West Ham. Moving on. Oh, fucking hell.
I mean, I almost said 2-1, but I thought I'll be a bit more optimistic.
2-0 West Ham, we've fucked it. Oh, rolled on.
If Antonio don't get a hat-trick, it's a success.
I can't wait till January so we can buy some fucking players. Right, let's get to the fans now.
Hi, I'm Henry Tomlinson. I'm going to be helping the Shoreham View preview the West Ham United Sheffield United match at Bramall Lane. I think it's going to be a very tough game for both sides. Sheffield United, even though they are bottom of the table and maybe haven't had the best of starts to the Premier League, they're still a very tough team to beat, very solid defensively, and I think West Ham could struggle to break them down. Despite being on quite good form, the Hammers obviously only lost one of the last 5 Premier League games. We've beaten Wolves and Leicester by considerable margins, good points away at Tottenham and at home to Manchester City before the defeat to Liverpool. But then we dug in and got a good result against Fulham at the London Stadium. So there's a lot of things going in the Hammers' favour going into the game, especially as the team sort of is playing very well together at the moment. So hopefully, from my perspective, they carry on this good run of form and push up the league. But Sheffield United will cause a lot of issues, especially with players like Ryan Brewster with pace. He will cause the West Ham backline trouble. And Sander Berg is a very good midfielder that West Ham need to sort of keep an eye on because he's got a very good attacking prowess. I think he can hit the ball very well and he's very good defensively. So I think those are going to be the 2 key men for Sheffield United in their efforts to beat West Ham United.
So here we are, West Ham. Last season 100% winnable game, bang up for the fight, giving it some. You're not West Ham anymore. Crowd 100% behind them. 12th man, really pushing them along this season. Obviously we can't be there. Same for the West Ham fans as well. Fortunate for them, but I really feel the players are missing us. The 12th man, as the saying goes. So we'll come back from another international break. And yet again, we're looking at our team thinking who's going to be playing on Sunday. So obviously we've got Sander, who's got the Norwegian COVID. Can he play? Can he can't? John Egan, who went out with concussion. Ryan Brewster, who took a knock. Obviously, Moosey and Fleck on back yet, but they're getting a bit closer. So we're really looking at our team and our strength. It really is looking a bit bare to the bone. I do think we can get something from the game. I will never back against the Blades. I feel confidence obviously a bit low. There's no reason to get too down about it. Look at some of the teams that we've played. I mean, Chelsea put 4 past us, a couple of individual errors. Eye off the ball, heads may have dropped a bit, but I don't think we've done ourselves bad this season. I do think we're going to turn a corner. I don't think we'll go down. I think we'll get 3 points this weekend. I think we'll do 2-1. Because generally when the Blades are expected to win, they never really do. And when they're up against it, that's normally when we pull out a performance. So, all in all, 2-1 Blades.
So West Ham at the Lane would have been a great occasion to be at on a Sunday afternoon. Sadly, we're not. Looking at their form, they're not doing too bad. I'm just looking, they have absolutely demolished Wolves and Leicester, drawn with Tottenham and City. But we're quite fortunate in the last game to beat Fulham, had it not been for Lookman's terrible penalty right at the death. See, that's quite impressive from them. I think we've had Brewster, Egan, Stevens all come back early from international duty. Hopefully they're all in contention, but I'm not sure. It sounded like Egan's was down to concussion, which I'm not sure the protocols on head injuries and how long you have to wait until they can play again. It'd be nice to get some free-flowing football back, really. Just get the wing backs bombing on again, get the centre halves overlapping if possible. But I think that only really comes with confidence, and I can't really see where that's going to come from. Maybe if we get an early set piece goal or something like that, that might just be the shot of confidence that we need. I think the players will know that we're going into a run of easier fixtures, as it were. So I think there will be a bit more belief than we've had certainly in the last three. So fingers crossed we can knit that all together and start to turn our fortunes.
I can't tell if it's reassuring or just more depressing that England and United seem to be equally as bad as each other recently. It's been a bit of a joke, hasn't it, that international break? I hate international breaks anyway, but seemed longer than most. As we go back to United's winless season, obviously want that to change as soon as possible, and West Ham could be a chance to do that, but they've not started the season too badly under David Moyes. He was away for quite a bit of it, and they seem to be getting a lot of good results while he was away, so it might be different now he's back, but it's hoping at this point, isn't it? Because I felt the first few weeks we were like, do you know what, the performances are still there, like we've got a good chance of staying up, but I feel like more recently it is just hoping, and with obviously international breaks always comes injuries, because of course the flipping is, we don't know if Egan's going to be fit, don't know if Sander, because Norway on about having to quarantine, I read, so if Sander's not available, then I hate saying this, but it may well write it off now, because he's been our best player by a country mile this season, so it'd be really interesting to see what team we go with. McBurney's confidence looks shot to bits. It's a really hard selection for Wilder, but hopefully he gets it right. We move on to West Ham and just get something, but we really need that win. Come on, Blades.
Hi guys, doing another video for Johnny at Shoreham View. Previewing West Ham game. I don't really know where to go, to be honest. We're lacking so much up front. I think it's time for a formation change. I've been saying it now for a few weeks. Maybe go forward at back, and that'll give us the opportunity to put a number 10 in. Do we change the midfield to play number 10, or do we stick McGoldrick as a 10 and then play two strikers, Brewster and McBurney, or do we go 4-3-3 and play Brewster on one side, somebody else on the other, and McBurney in the middle? Does McBurney get dropped? 2 goals in 33 games, I think it were, the other day. I'm a fan of McBurney, but there's only so long you can keep supporting a player that keeps missing. I'm not taking anything away from his work with the ball in the air, but that's not his role. It is his role, but it's not what he's supposed to be doing as a player. There's a lot of questions that are going to be asked, and there's a lot of questions that are going to need answering when we play West Ham. It's going to be super difficult. It's going to be super intense, because they've had a lot of players that haven't played international football this week, and I think it's going to be who's fresher. If Johnny Egan's going to be fit, if he's concussed or whatever, I don't know. I think he only hit his eye, but you never know. All being well, we can get some out of the game. Good luck.
So we move on to West Ham now. Phase of the season where we've got to start picking up some points. Better indication of where we're at after 3 really tough games. I think fans are being a bit unfair, given that we've had kids in team and expecting them to perform against top teams. There will be good players, just need time. They've all been thrust in together at the most difficult part of the season. Hopefully now we'll have Flight back. I'd like to see Ender move back to left wing back, maybe try Ampadu as other centre back. I think we'll get further up pitch now and be able to press teams higher up pitch and play more like we can do. It's always going to be difficult with our Jake, always. And as left side we need to solve. But I'm sure we will do, and we will start picking up points now. Up the Blades.
Next up, West Ham. How big is this game? Coming back off the disappointing performance against Chelsea, we need a result. And to get a result against West Ham, we need to be a lot more attack-minded. I can't believe there's pressure on Chris Wilder at the moment. Yes, he's spent a lot of money. It's just the players that he's brought in just not performing at the moment. But I'm confident he'll get it right and he will get his playing back to the normal way we are usually playing under him. To beat West Ham, I think the lineup, to me, you got to put Stevens back at left wing back, back three, Robinson bring back in, hopefully Egan's fit, and Basham, Baldock at right wing back. In midfield, I'm not sure if Fleck's back yet. I hope he is, because he'll be straight into starting lineup for me, alongside Norwood and Berg. And up front, it's going to have to be McGoldrick and McBurney. I know people think McBurney, no, but after his Scotland, maybe his penalty, maybe give him a bit more confidence, hopefully. Although reviews about him from Scotland fans is not really up to much, but hopefully he can start playing better for us and then get this win. And I think that should kick-start a season. If we don't win against West Ham, yeah, I'll be worried myself. Hopefully we'll win.
As always, thank you to everybody who gave their opinions. It's always a pleasure having fans on the video. If you want to be on the videos in future, use the email address below me. Send in your opinions on the next game, send in your opinions about anything Sheffield United, and if it fits with the video, we'll get it in. As always, if you liked this video, please leave a like, please share it either via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, snail mail, carrier pigeon, any kind of way you want to share it at all. We really want to hit that 10,000 mark, so any shares you can offer us will help out a lot. Thanks once again, and up the blades!